Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian, the host of the aforementioned podcast, and we're turning off some AC. We're getting rolling, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Alongside me is my co-host and my lovely wife, Melissa Nickerson, Andy producing. We sit above Public Square Coffee in downtown La Mesa.
Best coffee
Cheers.
in town.
Cheers. Not a sound effect, everybody. That is actually Andy slurping. That was very, very good. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah.
We got lots to discuss here. We got a weekend update of a trip to Universal Studios. We need to determine if I am stupid or not, right? It's Fringe. I want to talk about Stranger Danger. We have holiday horror stories, and I just want to talk about being in password technology hell.
Yes.
As a parent. And I think that that's going to be near and dear to, I know it's going to be near and dear to Melissa. So just everybody take a deep breath. It's the holidays. Everyone just in your car right now, just if you could just like, hand on chest, hand on stomach. Okay, so feel the inhale through the stomach, and then keep it in your chest, and then release. Don't you feel better?
We're all better now.
Don't you feel better?
I feel more grounded.
Your children are more grateful all of a sudden?
And I am just more grateful.
Your family gets along better than it did? Those two family members that won't stop fighting have stopped fighting? Everything's okay. Your jaw is relaxed. Your canker sores are
beyond
gone.
that. We're beyond that. Right here.
Happy December, everybody. This is our first December episode of the year of our Lord, 2023. And I hope it's going. It's a busy time. The holidays are very, very busy. They're busy for everybody. But the good news is no matter where you're going, no matter what you're doing, there is some sugary carb treat on some counter waiting for you.
Ooh, yeah.
Everywhere you go.
You made us throw out the pies.
Yes.
The Thanksgiving pies.
But I also came home with pierogi. So
You did.
Pierogi from Pike. So it was a little bit of
And it was time. You do reach that point because everybody wants a different kind of pie.
Yeah.
And then you go, we're throwing these away.
Yeah, what's your pie? How do you handle your guys' pie situation? Like, how many do you get? When do you throw it out? How often do you eat it? That kind of stuff.
I will keep them longer than necessary. I like to snack on pie weeks.
Throughout the year.
Yeah.
Just a pie.
A lot of the shop pies tend to last forever.
Yeah.
It turns out.
All the preservatives.
Yeah. Mercedes had thrown out our pumpkin pie the other day, and I felt sadness.
Yeah.
I opened the trash can. I was like, oh, I wasn't done snacking.
Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And then how long till you thought, is it all touching the trash?
No,
I was like, well, it's kind of still in the package.
So I threw out the pies. I was like, Joel, I'm throwing out the pies. And he got
throwing out the pies.
He had some pieces. I threw them out. And then he goes, did you throw out the berry one in the container?
Yeah.
Because he did. He's like, mentally, he's like, that's a fresh container.
Yeah.
Not touching the trash.
He's not wrong.
And I was like, no, I recycled the container. So the pie is
savage.
Gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
You destroyed the evidence. Yeah, that is truly, you really left no doubt.
Scooped it out of the tin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you made eye contact with him.
So they're gone.
Yeah, it's
that last piece of pumpkin pie hits though. It's so good.
I always regret it. I'm good on eating 3 pieces the night of Thanksgiving, but that's because I'm prone to extremes.
Yeah, and I had 3 pieces over 3 days.
Yeah, right.
Whichever way you want to do it.
Whichever way you slice it, that's 3 pieces of pie. Yeah. Mine were much bigger, too. Maybe if I didn't have to switch to non-dairy ice cream, I'd be like, keep the pies around a little longer. But the non-dairy ice cream just doesn't hit the way that it used to.
No.
You know?
I know. I don't even buy Bailey's anymore because you can't have it.
The good news is, everybody, Christmas is coming soon, so you might as well just hold on to those pies.
Freeze them.
Freeze them.
Freeze them, baby.
Melissa frees the leftover barbecue from Thanksgiving. Gloria goes, ugh.
Yeah, she's like, you freeze everything.
The frozen barbecue seems a little off-brand. I don't know why.
It's fine, Andy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be amazing, but it's better than having to cook a meal that day.
Yeah. You don't have to eat it, Andy.
You're not going to tell me there's some Wednesday in December where you have 2 sports practices, a theater performance, and a recital you got to get to.
I have about 5 of those days.
Yeah, where you're like, you know what? Microwave the barbecue. Thaw the BBQ.
You can put some Sweet Baby Ray's
on
God,
that. It'll be great. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Andy is rolling.
As a foodie, it's killing him.
It's just specific, I think, because I do so much barbecue, so I think I can't translate my brain. Fire, spice, sauce, freeze it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what?
Yeah. And it won't be amazing, but the amount of work that it'll go in to make a fresh meal that day, you just don't got time. And I don't know if you've actually tried to take your kids to Chick-fil-A recently. That's $70, FYI. It's so expensive.
Well, and our girls are fairly picky eaters. Like, our son is a foodie. He loves food.
Yeah.
And eating out, like, it's not lost on him. It's very special to him.
Yeah.
Our girls will go to, like, a buffet and eat, like, pita bread and cucumber slices. And maybe, like, a pile of cheese.
Yeah.
Or like some cut up eggs, like hard-boiled eggs. Like, that's all they're going to eat.
We were at a Delta Lounge on the way back from Seattle
on
with my daughters, and it was a great spread. My 14-year-old ate, she had the clam chowder. She did the whole thing. It was nice. My 10-year, how old's Claire? 9? Their 9-year-old looked at this incredible spread and took 2 pieces of pita bread, about 10 grapes, and a bag of pretzels. That was it. That was all. Mm-hmm. She's a very picky eater, though. She's our most picky eater.
She's not, okay,
she's not picky like she's a foodie.
Is like, take the skin off the grapes. Take the skin off the cucumbers. That's, don't let my food touch. She isn't that. But she is like casseroles, like soups, like she's picky adjacent. She's picky.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I talked myself into it.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know how many crusts do you got to take off bread before?
No, see, that's the thing is she doesn't.
She won't make you take it off, but she won't eat the crust.
She does eat crust.
Mac and cheese is her favorite food, and she will eat 2 types of it: what you make at home and Panera. That's it.
Okay. I take back my statement entirely. Mm-hmm. She is a picky eater.
Yeah.
She's just not that picky eater that's like, take this off for me, take this off. But she's just like, she will just eat crackers.
She'll just not eat it.
Or noodles.
Which honestly is a better way. If you're going to be picky, don't expect people to accommodate you. You don't have to. You can eat what you want. You should eat what you want and don't eat what you don't want, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But don't be entitled. But picky and entitled are different things.
Well, it is... we all had our moments. Like, remember in the 90s or 2000s, you would dab your pizza with a napkin. Mm-hmm. Not you. Like, we would.
I did not. People
did that because they're like, I would get the grease off this pizza.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're eating pizza.
No.
Like, who cares? 1, you didn't buy it. 2, there's grease inside it.
In my house, the crust was the napkin. That's what you wiped your face with. You wipe your face with a crust on the last bite. And then just to soak up any extra marinara.
Yeah,
and
your shirt was the napkin. I get it. It's just everybody has those moments where they're like, I'm being entitled. I didn't pay for this food. I just need to suck it up and not be so.
Growing up in the 90s,
bougie.
You knew when you had a meal, like a meal at home, there was one item you had to choke down.
Absolutely.
A green bean. Mm-hmm. A steak that you had to chew for 30 minutes.
Souffle.
A spinach souffle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just like a frozen thing of spinach that has like some cream in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That you got to eat that.
You got to choke that.
Like garbage.
Yeah. That sounds.
It was not good.
Yeah. There was always something you were really looking forward to on the table, but you took a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kids don't eat their school lunches these days. Kids don't eat their school lunches. Our kids come home without having eaten their school lunch most of the time, and it's great for me because that means I get a baked to perfection warm peanut butter and jelly. But sitting in the backpack all day.
That will hit at 3 p.m.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's perfect food.
We usually split it in half.
Yeah.
It's like,
cheers.
I will say though, kids like only have 20 minutes and they talk and they go to recess and they don't eat. But
I mean, not in middle school. I don't know. Go to recess, but
I guess. I don't know.
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Pick
your battles.
To me, it's amazing that you make their food because that's like a good, like you pack them a lunch that they don't eat. And I'm like, their lunches are free there. If they're not going to eat, then just go milk some school resources or resources, whatever you prefer.
I know. And our son does just like wing it. He does not make me pack him a lunch.
Well, he has a little high side income these days. And then he also does the free lunch at school.
Yeah.
It's great.
He's just, I don't know. I think they don't like standing in line because it's all about where you get to sit at the table.
Right.
And so that's why. And I tell them, I'm like, mom's basic lunch is the same thing every day. I do not waver.
Yeah.
Because if you want to switch it up, go wait in line. Yeah. It's free.
You had the stereotypical scary lunchrooms a couple times when you were a kid moving, right? Do you remember first days of school, like where am I going to sit?
Well, many a times, yes. But the worst was when the teacher would be like, sit wherever you want. Like the whole class is seated.
Yeah.
And then I come in, here's our new student. And then they go, sit wherever you want. And you're like, don't make me do this.
Yeah.
Because
how many open desks were there?
Just a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I can't sit next to a boy because then they'll think I have a crush.
That's too much pressure for the new person.
Yeah.
Who moves in December 5th.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
When Mel moved to Washington for the end of her 8th grade year, it was like mid-year,
right?
Yeah,
I had to get uniforms for 5 months.
Yeah, and like Mel was really smart, gets good grades, and the teachers were like hyping her. They're like, we got this genius moving from Texas.
Okay, so it's
Girl wonder.
Oh, no.
It's actually really sweet because I don't think in the 90s, early 2000s, like girls got pushed a lot, like academically or like in leadership roles.
Yeah.
And I had this
They got pushed down.
Go.
Yeah.
Now. I had this one English teacher who I didn't even really talk to her, but she wrote me this letter of recommendation that was like through the roof, apparently, because I showed up. I don't remember her that well, but I showed up in 8th grade and this English history class, like core class, this teacher was like, you guys better be really nice to this girl. She is brilliant and like wonderful.
Yeah.
And here she is. And then like
here she
walk through the door and but I guess that's really nice.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Because
a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure, but that was a teacher that believed in me.
Yeah.
You know?
And they looked at her and they're like, she's in 8th grade?
I think she's in 5th grade.
Yeah. She's so young looking.
I did it. That was like...
You lived up to it. Like, you graduated top 20 in your class. You're a bright kid. You're so smart and diligent, you know?
Thank you. And I don't know, like I planned everything in high school. I literally planned everything.
Yeah.
And
you could plan a party.
That was my strategy to survival was if I just planned everything, then I would be okay. And it worked out.
Yeah.
I guess it worked out. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, the lunchroom is
Let me do everything.
Yeah.
That was
I am very, very grateful. One of the things I'm most grateful for my childhood is like not one time did I have a scary lunchroom because I went to the same schools my entire life. I went through we never moved growing up. So I went to the same elementary. And so, you know, kindergarten, I don't remember whatever the lunchroom that was like, but everything's so happy in kindergarten. You know, it's such it's like such a warm blanket landing to school. And then all the way through middle school and then high school, you always knew kids. So there was no scary lunchroom.
No, the first
which
couple
we're providing
days,
for our kids too.
First couple of days are at a new school are really tough. But I was really glad, as awful as 8th grade was, and it was awful. Starting in 9th grade at a new school would have been harder.
Right.
Because I had a friend group.
It's hard.
But the funny thing about my friend group was they were from a really tight-knit community, so they all went to readiness kindergarten together.
Oh, yeah, they were in it.
Like, they were like
tight.
And
Andy, a lot of these people still live in the same neighborhood.
Yes.
And they all...
And so getting in...
I do not know that world, man.
Getting in with them was... I mean, it was nice. They were kind people.
Yeah.
I got lucky.
Did you ever have a scary lunchroom as a kid?
No, same thing as you. Like,
Yeah.
went to the same school, so I didn't have to do a lot of transition. And then it wasn't. We never had a lunch room because of California, so you just eat outside.
Yeah,
You know, so it's just
Southern California high school is literally a movie.
it is. It's called
Clueless.
Yeah.
They're just like doing hacky.
It's just variations of that.
Yeah.
Really.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They have no idea that
Yeah.
like these were our movies.
Yeah.
School outside.
I know, lunch out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
man.
band played in the quad a few times.
Of course they did.
You know?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Rules.
Do you
What'd
think?
what'd you play? We played in we did no songs.
Oh, yeah.
I had a
M&M's by Blink-182.
nice.
Yep. That's right.
I did. I had I was in jazz band in high school, and me and the guitar player and the drummer also did the assemblies. So we I remember
That's amazing.
we did
You didn't have
some
any bands.
we did some Red Hot Chili Peppers. Don't Stop. That was a fun song to play as a bass player.
Yeah.
And then TNT was another one of our our guitar player.
Crowd pleaser.
He was what was his name? Gosh, I forget his name. He was a violin player who really wanted to play guitar, and he could wail. He
Oh
was
my
so
God.
good, and he loved AC/DCs. It was awesome. But yeah, we had to play in this dingy high school gym. We didn't have the quad outside.
Yeah, we used to walk to the historic theater. We had to walk a half mile because we couldn't fit our high school. We didn't have an auditorium.
Back in art, eh?
Back at art. Like through this.
Yeah.
To the theater.
The Friends thing is hard. Like,
that's right.
Jeez.
I am. Hear me out on this. Okay.
Where are we going? Okay.
I am not for arranged marriage. However, I do wish I could pick my children's friends.
Oh man, and you can't.
I wish I could look up.
You cannot make people be friends.
I wish you could with my kids. I wish I could look up a lineup of. I don't need to see their faces. What I need to know is I want to see their grades and I want to see their hobbies. And then if they could just list their top 3 interests for me, I'd be like, yes, 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 yes. I want them to have a good friend group. What I'm saying is I want my daughter to bring back Morgan. I miss Morgan so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Morgan. Oh, you were the best.
I did that over fall break. I was like, who should we bring to the beach? Maybe Morgan?
You do that as a parent. You're like, I like that one a lot. I'm not against the other ones, but I'm for that one. I don't want to push anyone down, but Morgan is funny, gets good grades, pretty polite, says thank you around the house.
Keep her in mind.
Yeah,
It's actually, you have to do the reverse psychology because whoever you would.
You're like, Morgan sucks.
You know who's the worst?
Friggin' Morgan.
Then Morgan's going to come around.
You know because you were that age that your friends influence so much of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much pressure. Peer pressure is like a real thing. And
it's all we talked about in the 90s.
it is. It was a big deal.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Peer pressure. Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Peer pressure.
But,
Yeah.
But like that slogan doesn't make a lot of sense until you're a parent. I don't know.
It does. It's
'Cause you don't think about your friends that way.
It's not peer pressure in that there's like kids going like, do this heroin right now. And what it is you're in a group and it's hard to say no in groupthink. It's hard to be the one person that isn't drinking, smoking, jumping off a bridge, like whatever it may be.
Throwing watermelons off a parking structure.
Whatever, hypothetically. It's all, I did it.
Don't give them ideas.
I did it all. Vandalizing your local Little League that you grew up playing in.
Yeah.
Like,
driving your Buick LeSabre on the baseball field.
Yeah. All hypothetical. All purely hypothetical. We would throw ice cubes at golfers. All hypothetical. You don't want to be the one who didn't throw the ice cube, This is a difference between me and my kids growing up because I was like a nice kid. We were like near a golf course, and there was this. Have I told you this before? So there was this thing where you could, the hole that we were near, we could like hide in the woods, and they would hit up onto this green, and they couldn't see the green from where they were. So they didn't know where their ball was exactly. And so my friends like to go and grab their ball and like throw it in the bunker or throw it in the woods or throw it so they couldn't find it. And the guy would just get up there and he thought he had a great golf shot. He's like, I think I'm on the green. He'd get progressively angrier and angrier and angrier, throw a club sometimes, and then he would hear kids.
To watch that
yeah. What I like to do is I would grab their ball and I would put it in the hole.
So it's like reverse pranking.
Look at how happy they are.
Look how happy they are. It's not real, but nothing's real. And they would
like,
come.
Thank you, child in the woods.
They wouldn't know. They would come up and they would like look around for their ball, and then they'd be like, "Is it in the hole? It's in the hole! Oh my gosh!" And it wasn't all the one. It was like a birdie or whatever. Like and people like celebrating. Look at this fake happiness that I've engineered. There's a different mindset.
You're the green fairy, like
yeah,
you magically live
the
on
green
every
fairy.
tree
It should have been the first sign that I was going to be a comedian of some type. It's like I just want to make people happy, man. If I could just bring some
real classic people pleasing.
If I could just bring some joy, some real.
It's amazing though, as far as pranks go.
And I don't feel bad that it's not real. What is real?
Yeah.
It's real to him.
Yeah.
It's real to him.
It's real joy.
It's real joy. So, anyways,
It's special.
pick your kids' friends is what I'm saying. Just
Yeah.
if you need to reverse psychology it, figure it out. But
Yeah. You cannot invite them to your birthday party.
we cannot. We did not talk about this. I'm not going to talk this at length. We did go to Universal Studios last week. It's still great. Here's my recommendation for you guys if you can pull this off for Universal Studios.
Okay. Hot tip.
Get a friend who has multiple Netflix specials and is now the host of CBS Late Night, and just be friends with her. And she might buy you and your whole family an annual pass to Universal Studios. If you can do that without the blackout dates and parking, she got the good pass.
Yeah.
So shout out Tay.
Thank you, Tay.
To quote my daughter, we love Universal Studios and we love Taylor. So thank you, Taylor. That's a very generous gift. We went. It was great. Still fun. Mario's still so awesome. The longest line.
Jurassic Park.
But you know what? It's not. It's like everyone's like, oh, it's like 2 hours. You're like, that's the teacups at Disney, FYI. Like, that's not. That's a Universal long line. Compared to Disney, it's a whole other animal.
If you spend $20 per person, you can get in the park an hour early and shorten that line quite a bit.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. And apparently if you go at 8 p.m., it's supposed to be better too. Or you can solo rider it. You can solo rider on most rides.
Yeah.
And
one nice
pull it off.
One nice thing that I appreciate is our kids now, they can like, here's a question. This is a question for the group, maybe for the extended backseater community.
Okay.
At what age do you stop taking your child into the opposite gender public restroom with you? Dicey, isn't it? Hard to know because there reaches an age where you're either going to make the child super uncomfortable or the adults in there super uncomfortable.
I would say it does depend on the child.
Uh-huh.
But maybe like 6.
Does it depend on
Between
the gender?
6 and 8.
Too, of when you would take a boy into, because I feel like you would take, because a men's public restroom, especially like a stadium, no. Never. You can't take an infant in there.
I don't even like going in there.
No, exactly. Yeah. That's when, like, when I see women, like, at, like, concerts and stuff going to the men's, I'm like, wait in your line. Trust me, you don't want any part of this.
See, so it's got to be different depending on the gender and the kid.
Have you ever been in a men's public restroom?
Yeah, I have.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's,
There's definitely tiers of that, too. Gas station, stadium.
Yeah. Stadium is the worst in my experience.
I'm going to give you the best.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Trough.
I'm going to give you guys the best.
Going to go squat in the trough?
Analogy I can.
Don't mind me.
Remember,
hey.
It's not an analogy.
I'm wearing a beanie so that they can't even tell I'm a woman. I'm just squatting in the trough.
I have a vivid...
like a cattle.
I have a vivid memory of when I was in a men's bathroom
when you were too old.
Dad and brother.
Yep.
And I still remember it.
Yep.
And that was the age.
That was it. That's too old.
That was the age when I could lock a stall.
Yeah.
And wash my hands by myself. even though I was just with my dad and brother.
Yep.
That was it.
Well, that's the hard thing that you have to decide as a parent. You're like, I have to pee. So, and so sometimes you have to go to the bathroom is the issue. And so you're like, well, what's worse? Leaving you out here in public?
Yeah.
Which is why.
Well, if you have another sibling.
That's what you need to travel in 3 if you can.
You can double up. That's helpful.
Yeah.
We went to the same bathrooms at Universal all day.
Yeah, down by Jurassic Park.
Be by the ATM.
Yes.
Because there's this big ATM sign. So, like, if we lose you in the bathroom, be by the ATM.
Plus 2 of the 3 of our kids have cell phones at this point. It's
it's different, but
I mean, they've been dead for hours. Cause,
because children.
Yeah.
I do think, and Andy would probably vouch for this, there's that age where kids don't lock stalls well.
Yeah.
You know, so what you want to do is check to make sure it's locked for them.
Right.
You go, okay, it's locked. Now you're fine.
Do you ask the stranger have you ever asked a stranger? I mean, you wouldn't. I like to there's a couple times that I sent like a younger one of our daughters into the bathroom, and I would ask a stranger like, was there a girl in there, like my daughter? You know, not like I didn't send them in with them, but like enough time had gone by, I'd be like, is there like a little 9-year-old blonde in there? You know, and they're like, yeah, she's washing her hands or something like that.
The other trick you can do is
I should just go to the women's bathroom. That solves all these issues, right?
If you can lock,
I'm in here for my daughters, ma'am.
Lock your kid
Quit peeing in the trough.
Lock your kid
Squatting in the trough. Sorry. Squatting in the trough is very funny. I think we named the episode Squatting in the Trough. The old trough squatter.
Trough squatter. I can't with you.
Just making eye contact directly out. Just
you got the worst view too.
Yeah. Hey guys, don't mind me.
Everyone else is looking the other way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Staring through the wall.
It might be the best view. No, you're looking out.
No, you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Just don't look to the side.
Yeah. What's going on down there?
Oh,
Anyways.
no.
Old squat trotter. Trough squatter. It's hard to say. Anyways, you were going to say.
I think you got to lock your kid in a stall.
Yeah.
And then you can do the hand washing and your kid can stand up.
Well, this is why they created the family restroom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But also,
it's like, you be here.
Here's the thing.
No, be here.
there is a chance in the family restroom that like a comedian is changing in there because he needs the space because he just
/ homeless person.
Yes, yeah, because he just came in, particularly at the airport. There's a chance that you're going to see the family restroom that's going to be locked because there's a comedian in there who just came from his gig and is changing into his sweatpants and is like, well, I also have to poop. So while I'm in here, and you pull down the baby tray and you put your suitcase out.
Oh,
it's actually,
boy.
Where else are you going to change?
You wash your socks in the sink.
Yeah, go real Dale Griffith there. I had this realization.
The baby tray.
Yeah. I think that our kids have reached the age where I've realized I am only just a little bit smarter than them.
Yeah.
I know that because last week we woke up in the morning and there was moisture on the ground and our youngest goes, it rained last night. And I go, no, it didn't rain. That's condensation. And she goes, what's condensation?
Mm-hmm. And then you go,
and then I'm out. I don't know. I go like, it's just moisture. I got nothing. I can't.
But that is rain. It's water on
Condensation is not rain, though. It didn't rain last night. That is not. See, you're the same as me. No water fell from the sky. I can tell you that it is condensation. I cannot tell you what condensation is.
It was like water droplets in the air that went on the ground. That sounds like rain.
She said, what is condensation? Mm-hmm. And then I changed the topic. Because I didn't want her to know that I'm dumb. And I just hope for no follow-up questions.
I mean, she's got to learn the water cycle soon.
Yeah, I mean, learn and forget. I knew what condensation was at one point in my life. But your brain at a certain point goes, that's just not important for me to know. I know it didn't rain last night, you know?
So just a little water got on the ground.
Yeah, but not
because
from
the night.
Not from the sky.
It was in the air.
It was in the air.
Okay.
No rain
All right.
fell from a cloud.
Okay,
These
fine.
two idiots would be the other name of these.
I still think that condensation just means rain and snow and sleet and hail. Like, I think it's all forms of
And you very well could be right.
water things.
You very well could be right. Fill us in, Andy.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's different varying moistures in the air. That doesn't have to be clouds.
What science classes did you take? Because I took genetics and astronomy.
I took astronomy, but
that's all I took for science.
I took astronomy, but when I'm saying the word astronomy, I have to focus not to say astrology.
Yeah.
So that's my level of intelligence.
We're more like social scientists.
Yeah, I'm more like the soft. I also took sociology.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that's a soft science.
You're
yeah.
right.
There's an ology on the end of that.
I was just joking about how we didn't take chemistry and biology in college.
I'm not
Physics.
a bright man. I'm like street smart, which is what dumb people say. Here's another question though.
Okay.
Sometimes I can't tell if I'm really stupid. Like, sometimes I can't tell if an idea is brilliant or idiotic.
Sure.
For example, my
Okay.
daughter, this last week while we were traveling, she bought a 5-ounce thing of what?
Fragrance?
Right.
Yeah.
She bought like a 5-ounce fragrance. My daughter bought a 5-ounce fragrance, and we had to fly. And I was like,
Yeah.
I know that's above 3.5 or whatever the limit is.
I don't know why.
And I thought,
3 ounce?
yeah. And I thought, oh, we have a smaller container. Just break it up into 2 containers, and then it'll be okay. And I thought, is that a genius idea? Like, did I just hack this system? Like, and am I giving the terrorist a bad idea here or a good idea, like on your angle? Because I'm like, are the fluids? Then I went into this like I spiraled because I'm like,
is it what's on the label or how much is in it?
Or how much is in it? Or can fluids that are potentially harmful, if they're broken into 2, 3.5, are they no longer potentially harmful?
I think that's what you needed was 2 3 ounces, not a 5 ounce and a 3
But
ounce.
if you have a 7-ounce thing and a 3.5 ounce, you can't travel it with all in this 7 ounces thing here.
Correct.
But if you split it, now it's okay. But if I put it back in there, is it a bomb again? Like, did I break the TSA? And I don't know the answer to that.
But you don't know if you got through because you ended up checking the bag.
But they wouldn't stop you. If you have 2 separate 3.5-ounce things and
correct.
And an empty 7-ounce container, they're not going to stop you for an empty 7-ounce container. If you see the predicament here. I'm like, am I an idiot and I'm missing something stupid, or did I just crack the TSA fluids problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the safe way, even if it's just, this bottle of toothpaste is too big. All right, well, give me that cup.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, now it's...
We're good.
Yeah. My friend tried to take a whole pound of hummus
Yeah.
through TSA.
Did they let him?
No, and she had a salsa one too.
Yeah.
And they were open. If they were closed,
that's funny. Yeah, it's...
Maybe. It's so arbitrary.
Please send us...
is hummus a fluid?
Don't make me come back there at gmail.com and the Facebook group. Please tell me I'm stupid or smart on this. Also... Don't explain condensation. We can Google that, but
wrong.
We won't. We're all wrong on that. But I don't know. I can't tell if I'm an idiot or brilliant for that.
Well, because you don't actually know what happened. Then you would know.
Well, no, we checked the bag, so I don't.
Yeah.
But I know they wouldn't stop you for 2 separate 3.5 because I several.
That's the way to do it.
They did stop us was for we had a tuna thing. We were bringing home for the cats some smoked salmon tuna situation from Pike, and they stopped me for that, and they're like, oh, is it a can of tuna? Because it's very obviously the shape. That's the only thing that comes in that shape. And they're like, some people would stop you for this, but we know better. She goes, I'm nice. She goes, I know that's not 3.0. That's mostly meat in there.
Oh, wow. That's a first. A can of tuna. All right.
Here's another thing we're going to talk about before we get some holiday horror stories.
What you got?
If you get overwhelmed by technology and passwords, don't have children.
Don't have children these days.
We are swimming in password hell.
I have so many screen time accounts and passwords that one time I forgot I had to give my son the screen time password. I screenshotted it. He still has that. So my 16-and-a-half-year-old can access all his screen time because he has the password, and I don't know how to change it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to change that screen time password because you get in there and then it stops working.
Yep.
And I do kind of feel like he's at the age where he needs to start monitoring this stuff himself.
100%. No, you think that parenting is like the late nights and the family memories and the laundry and the days at the park and the groceries. It's not. It's trying to get back into your child's Roblox account
with a two-factor authentication.
Say it again. With a
two-factor authentication. I can't say that.
What is it?
That's it. She got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Authentication.
Yeah.
With a two-factor authentication, you're going to be stuck. They're going to be texting you. They're going to hit that thing 5 times. So now every password you send back to them, they've already hit it again.
Yeah.
And you're like, which one do you need?
Every verification new code you've got is out of date.
Email.
It's gone. It's gone. It's useless. And then they go, too many attempts. The account is locked.
Yeah, and now you got to log in on the website.
I don't think that they're
on a laptop to get another password so they can play Roblox with their friends.
I think a parent is so well versed in password login. I could hack into most people's bank accounts. I could find a way. There's no cybersecurity a parent can't work around.
Or a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but
I am drowning in password hell. So many accounts, so many
you have three
passwords.
3 Nintendo Switches. Well, they all have different Nintendo accounts, and then you need to create a Microsoft account
one for Minecraft.
And then you have to have two-factor
authentication,
and then you need to have screen time, screen time passwords.
And then the text goes to the spouse's phone who isn't home, so you're texting them like, did you get a password for that?
And then they all have iCloud accounts.
Yeah, and they're like, well, you have to get into your own Apple ID. You're like, I don't know my own. I just look at my phone. It knows my face. I don't know the password for this.
And then now you need to set up Venmo and Apple Pay. And PayPal for your teenagers.
Yeah.
Because theme parks do not accept cash anymore.
Yeah.
So your 13-year-old needs
Apple Pay, apparently,
and PayPal and Venmo. So now when they share that password with their friend, your primary bank account has been hacked.
Yep, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
As well as their Spotify password.
Spotify and Roblox.
As well as the Netflix password. Everyone in your community is using your Netflix.
Yeah.
Because your child gave it to them.
Yeah.
And now it's your problem because your account's locked.
Yeah. Well, your account is locked because Grandpa accepted a scam call from quote unquote Netflix that said it needed a new credit card.
And he's going to get a new iPhone if he gives them his credit card information.
Grandpa got an email that said a prince in South Africa needs to know your Netflix password in order to save his people or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yes, you're an account manager 24/7.
Yeah. It's
the escape room of life.
Yes. Give me the sleepless nights, please. I will trade the sleepless nights of a baby as opposed to trying to have to call Spotify. You ever have to try and get Spotify on the phone? It's literally not possible.
And then someone at your local high school has taken over that account. And it's the local high school's email address.
Yeah. High school. Your kid's not even in high school. She's like, I didn't share my password. I was like, I know you did because I see their email account. And it's not Morgan, unfortunately. If it was Morgan, it'd be okay.
We're happy to add her.
Yeah, we'd love her. Melissa, I am always worried about internet safety.
Yeah. Especially with our kids.
Especially for you. I'm worried about what you are looking at, which is why I want to get Bark put on your phone.
Oh, boy.
Your phone, your laptop, your pager. I need to get Bark on your pager.
Yeah.
On your Bluetooth. Yeah, the little one in your ear.
Apple CarPlay.
As many of you guys know, we are parents. As many of you know. You all know we are parents.
Guys, we're parents.
We're parents. And internet safety is, I don't know if there's a thing that parents think about more anymore.
It's so important and so hard to keep track of.
Yeah. And thankfully, insert Bark Technologies And then a hero comes along with Bark Technologies to monitor your kid's phone. And there's a new Bark phone, too. I didn't hit that. I missed that one, but before that, I was crushing that. That was pretty good.
That was good. Mm-hmm.
Bark Technologies is a friend of the pod, and we love them so much. There's a couple services that we've used with them over the year. The phone, the monitoring of your kid's phone, where they send you alerts and what they're looking at, and they have different levels and things, whatever it may be. It's fantastic. You're not spying on your kid. There's just certain things where Bark goes, hey, you might want to see this, and they show it to you.
Check out this tag.
And even better, simplify your life, ladies and gentlemen. Bark has a new phone.
That's right. And it doesn't look like a kid's phone.
No,
it's black.
no.
It's
Yeah.
sleek. Phones and technology is improving, and this phone grows with your kid.
Oh.
So maybe your kiddo is, kind of inching into like an Instagram account. Or wants to be a YouTuber. Yeah. And you want to give him some training wheels to get there.
We recently let our kid get on Instagram, and it was because of Bark.
That's right.
We let our kid because we're less concerned, and because he's 15 and we're done parenting. But so tell him. But we also, we don't choose any sponsor for the pod. We like sponsors that make sense and we use in our lives, and Bark is one of them. And the new Bark phone is something that we're really excited about, as well as Bark Technology is what we use constantly. And we have some promo codes and we have some details. Hit them, Melissa. Give them those sweet, sweet details.
All right. So you can manage screen time. You can block websites and apps. You can monitor text, email, YouTube, and 30 apps and platforms.
Andy's excited.
You can get child psychologist advice and tips, even ways to approach kids when they mess up.
So how do they sign up? And how do they save some money, Melissa?
Let me tell you. If you click on the link in the show notes and enter Don't Make Me, all one word, Don't Make Me, you are going to get 7 days of a free trial for the Bark Premium subscription.
And?
As well as
15% off for the lifetime of your subscription, baby.
That's right.
Guys, we asked you to submit your holiday horror stories. Things gone wrong this and previous holidays, kitchen disasters, family problems, trips to the ER, all that kind of stuff. And you guys have delivered. Keep sending them at dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com. I think I forgot to promote tour dates on this one. It's all right. You guys know them.
You did. And we didn't promote Patreon or
we didn't get to Booty Bump next week.
Next week.
Booty Bump.
Okay.
And by next week, I mean in 10 minutes when we reset here.
We're really drawing this out.
So, here we go.
All
This
right.
first one, this is our first holiday horror story of the year. This is from Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Dustin and Melissa. And Andy. First, I just want to say I appreciate all the laughs you guys bring and your authenticity. You're the only podcast I listen to regularly. I've never found another one that holds my attention quite like yours does. I really appreciate your perspectives on life and parenting and the humor you bring to good and bad situations. There you go.
Oh.
Now that that's out of the way, let me tell you about the event that has traumatized me for my life. My parents and I disagree about whether this was Thanksgiving or Christmas. Honestly, it doesn't matter which holiday it was, but I blame the trauma for the dissonance.
Okay.
Important things you need to know. It was winter in Wisconsin. I'm a female, adopted only child. We lived in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and I was 17 years old. This is a great start.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
End of story.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the night before, insert whichever major holiday. We spent all day getting the house ready. My mother's family was due to descend the following day, and like true Midwesterners, there would be a great gluttonous feast. This is very well written. I knew when I went to bed that something wasn't right. I didn't feel the greatest. Lo and behold, I trudged downstairs where my bathroom is, and my bowels emptied themselves violently.
Oh, no.
Are you ready? It's going to get gross. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It was bloody, massive period poops. You said you were ready.
Wow.
At this age, I'm well versed in how to take care of this. However, at this time, when I flushed the toilet, the water began rising instead of flowing down. The first horror.
Oh, that's the worst feeling as a child when you flush in the toilet.
Oh, no! Fire! I go back upstairs to get my dad. My parents are watching TV in their room. That's nothing unusual. I knock on the door. No answer. I enter anyways. That's how we found out the door on their... the lock on their door does not work. The second horror. I immediately slammed the door shut. I can no longer pretend as an adopted child that my parents don't do anything. Focus. Okay. Turns out the pipe to the septic tank was broken, and that's how we all spent the holiday, using 5-gallon buckets for toilets. And I never dared to enter a room after my parents shut the door ever again. Dustin, you say worry about traumatizing your children with the noises coming from your bedroom. Just make sure the lock works. That's unbelievable. That's one of the funniest stories I have ever heard.
Oh. Christmas morning, you're like, yeah.
You know what? That one's not going to get top for today. So let me just tell everyone my tour dates, and then we're going to call it good. Guys, if you're interested in comedy, the septic tank should be working. Let's see. This is running next week. So I'm in Cleveland this weekend at Hilarities, 7th through 9th, 5 shows. Then Cincy on the 10th, Columbus the 13th, 14th through 16th in Pittsburgh, the 17th in Buffalo, and then 29th through 31st in Indy. And then in January, we're going to do Brooklyn, KC, St. Louis, Philly, February and beyond, Portland, D.C., Grand Rapids, Spokane, Seattle, Naples, Tampa, Dania Beach, San Diego, and Nashville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. You're the best. Have a great week.
All right, bye.
Hey, folks, want to give a special shout-out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. Ooh, that's $25 up a month. That's a big money right there. What you get is you get a special shout-out on this podcast at the end right now. So, first up,
April Griffiths,
Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson,
Bonnie Galindo,
Carrie Teague,
Caroline Crimmins,
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Damaris Diaz-Stevens,
Dan and Chelsea Morell,
Daniel Owens,
David and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Isaac Teron,
Jason White,
Jennifer Ashley Downs,
Jessica Handherend,
Joshua and Nikki Platt,
Jordan Lara,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Caroz,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capin,
Stephen Menya,
and Tiffany Payne. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Bam.